Hi all, this is Skate, and in this one we are looking at the shiny new ISU-130. I'm playing these games on my press account. Anyone who's a regular follower of this channel will know I don't really play my press account too much. In fact, at all, really. But with brand new tanks, the beauty of that press account for me is I can test a tank and make a video quickly on it. And not just that, I can then make a decision whether I want to buy it for my own account. And that's pretty much what I do with these videos. I almost treat them like a decision-making process, which is actually what a lot of people say they do with the videos anyway. It helps them make a decision whether they want to buy the tank or not. So, by the end of this video, I will say my decision whether or not I'm going to buy this tank. So the first thing I've got to comment, I've really enjoyed playing this tank, like an awful lot. I love the ISU-152 though. I sold it a while ago, haven't played it on Blitz in a good while, purely because there's so many tanks to play and make videos on and so on and so forth that, well, she's been neglected, bless her. But the idea of an ISU in a premium form is very appealing. It's an ISU which will make you credits and you will have joyous fun playing. Or is it? That sounded really sinister, actually. I didn't mean to make that sound sinister. The point I'm trying to get at is I instantly love the idea of getting myself an ISU premium, but that's not what you're going to get. Now that doesn't mean you're going to get a bad tank, not in the slightest. But it means you're getting something that looks like an ISU, slightly plays like the ISU, but is different. So the first thing I really want to talk about more than anything, quite simply, is that gun. Because although it's not the 152mm BL10, it is a very good gun. And something I'm seeing commented a lot is, it's got opposite ammo, so it makes it interesting. And my opinion on that is no. Think about it, it's exactly the same, they're just in a different position. Example, if I was talking about the 152, I'd be saying this thing with its standard ammunition has 286mm of penetration and 640 alpha. With its APCR it has 329mm of penetration and 545 alpha. And the reason I consider the other one the same is because if I was to say, well, it has 195mm of penetration and 530 alpha, what is the difference between me then saying with its premium it has 230, i.e. the extra penetration, and less alpha at 460? It's exactly the same, except one difference. And that one difference, quite simply, is you're paying extra per shell to fire the higher alpha instead of lower as you would with the normal. So that's why I don't think it's refreshing or different, because it's the same, it's just in a different position. All that said though, with its premium ammo, I'm doing air quotations right now, it has 195mm of penetration and 530 alpha, which gives you 3,596 damage per minute, which is very impressive. But it's only got 195mm of penetration with that. So your massive damage per minute at that point is balanced by the lower penetration. And when I say lower, let's be fair, 195mm for a tier 8 tank destroyer is pretty bad. I mean, its lowest competitor is an AT-15 with 226mm of penetration. Or you have the 8.8 YAG with 225mm of penetration. Even if we switch back to the standard ammunition on the 130, 230mm of penetration, which again is very subpar in terms of the average tier 8 tank destroyer. Now that's not to say it's a bad figure, it more than suffices. It can struggle against tier 9s. Oh, that reminds me, there's two little bits on this replay which screwed up a little bit, and I couldn't re-record it because my game screwed up. So apologies, there is that glitch, and there will be one more little weird glitch coming up momentarily. Other than that, no more glitches, promise. But on with the tank. The penetration, in other words, it's below average. But that doesn't mean it doesn't work. But the gun, it does work. It works very, very, very well. And with that damage per minute, with the premium, non-premium ammo, because you will be firing that as your standard, 195 suffices for the vast majority of the time. And that DPM and the 0.326 gun dispersion is to die for. It really does just sing, and it is devastating. And it's for that reason I have really, really enjoyed it. There's the other glitch, by the way. Promise, no more. It's that reason and that accuracy. I mean, 0.326 is great. It allows you to use the full potential of the gun and just go to town. So yeah, straight answer is, I absolutely love the gun. I really do like the gun on this thing. The discussion of it's refreshing because the ammo is the other way around, I disagree personally, because, as I mentioned, it's not. It's the same, just in a different position, and it costs you more for the luxury. End of. That doesn't mean the gun's bad, though. The gun is absolutely beautiful. Here's the balance factor for that gun. The gun arc is appalling. You've got 12 degrees in total. That may not seem like a big deal. However, the second balancing factor is this is an ISU. They have no armor whatsoever, except for the lucky bounces every now and then, or if you can get your gun mantlet in someone's face, then you will be able to bounce a shot or two potentially. And this has less armor than the ISU-152. I don't know why. 94 on the front of this, 78 on the sides, and 62 on the rear. The 152 has 94 on the front, and 94 on the side, and 62 on the rear. In other words, the armor does not hold up. In fact, in the ISU, you can probably angle a little bit better than you would be able to on this thing. Now that, to me, is the biggest drawback of the ISU-130. The best thing about this tank is the gun. Therefore, to use that gun to its full potential, and to fully maximize that epic damage per minute, you need to expose yourself an awful lot more. And being as your armor is poo, there's a high likelihood you're going to get penetrated trading shot for shot. And when your shots do less damage, and you're popping up more often, and you have a worse aiming arc, therefore you have to move your tank more often if you're trying to camo it up. Thus you're moving your hull, dropping your camo, making yourself more visible. You're firing more often, making yourself more visible. And that makes you more vulnerable. Quick tangent, as we mentioned, the premium, non-premium ammo, nearly 5,000 damage, tier 8, and 83,000 credits. Well, let's call it 84,000 credits. It's a nice chunk of credits, however, there are other tier 8 premiums which would make substantially more for the same amount of damage. So here's the decision I made for me, and it's very simple. ISU-152 wins at 15,000 gold. I have gone on record and saying I will never enrich a tank. However, I could buy the legendary camouflage and enrich an ISU-152 permanently for the same price as the ISU-130. I'm not going to, by the way. What I have done is buy my ISU-152 back and treated myself to that lovely camo. And this is what happened. I was playing the ISU-130 and I adored this tank. I really enjoyed playing this tank, guys. I'm not saying it's a bad tank. It is not. It's a very good tank. It's a bit of a bully. To tier 7s, to tier 9s, it can struggle a little bit, which is where the 152 never will. But after playing the 130 for, I don't know, say a good 45 minutes, I went, it's been a while since I played my 152. And the 152 just felt so much more flexible, so much more workable, so much more reliable. And I ended up just playing that instead. And the reason I find it so much better is pretty obvious. I think the 130 is a fantastic gun, but it just pales in comparison to that legendary 152. I mean, 286 millimeters of penetration on the AP. You never need to fire APCR, really. Which means, as a like-for-like comparative, I did 4,007 in this, 4,700 damage in one game, and I made 83,000 credits. In the ISU-152, with just a little bit less damage, I made only 24,000 credits less than this premium version. Also remember the aiming arc is better. Also remember the HE. Oh god, 152 HE. I mean, 90 millimeters of penetration, 960 alpha. As with this, 65 millimeters of penetration, 600 alpha. Also, back to my biggest drawback on the 130, the armor profile. Now, granted, ISU-152 also has a bad armor profile, although it has more side armor, 78 up to 94. But because you're doing more damage per shot, and you have that slightly longer reload, it gives you time to reset camo. It gives you time to get in and out of cover between shots. And when you are trading those shots, you are doing masses of damage in comparison. And when you see an ISU-130 or an ISU-152 enemy, you can load some HE, and there's a high probability you're going to penetrate it with your HE and delete it in one shot. Because one of the balancing factors of the ISU-130 and 152 is they have the lowest hit point pool of any tier 8 tank destroyer. And it is for those reasons that I won't be buying a 130 on my own account. I already have actually, rebought my 152 and put the pretty camo on it. I won't be enriching it, however, if I did enrich it, it would be the same price as the cheapest ISU 130 bundle, and it would probably make more credits due to the lack of requirement of premium ammunition. So yeah, all in all guys, I think the ISU 130 is fantastic, but it's not as good as the ISU 152. And at 15,000 gold, I can't justify that personally. Now, as someone who likes to collect tanks, if it was say 8 or 10,000, it would be much more appealing to me. Because then at that point, I would almost go, is it worth the ISU 130 and the 152? I could get them both. Although I don't see the point. I'd probably stick with the 152 actually. No, I would. I'd still stick with the 152 even if it was cheaper. But then, like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad tank. I had a lot of fun driving mine. But then I went in the 152 and yeah. Enough said. And it's for that reason I also have an ISU 152 video lined up for you tomorrow. And there are some shots in there that really made me grin. I'm talking full HE rolls, ammo racks, because of course it's 152mm, which means more module damage, and it's bloody nasty. But yeah, that's it for this video. ISU 130 guys, great tank. ISU 152, amazing tank. Hope you've enjoyed the video. As always, I will try and be as honest as I possibly can. This is, of course, my opinion. If you disagree, please feel free to leave a comment below. I would be curious on other people's opinion on this topic as well. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in tomorrow's. Bye-bye.